Good morning, Sasha. It's Friday, Strengths Friday, March 21st. So today we're on number 20 for you, which is analytical. So definitely think that we're down in that auxiliary range. Again, thinking about tools in a tool belt, something you can kind of pull out when you need it. Maybe not quite as developed, maybe not something that you really enjoy so much or you get a big kick out of, but just something that you can do. So this one's analytical. So people exceptionally talented and analytical love to uncover root causes. They like to peel back the onion. Sometimes you may find someone in a meeting that's really asking a lot of questions, and it may be that, oh, where did you get this and where did you get that number and those kinds of things. And it could be, there are people that are kind of trying to sharpshoot you, right? They're trying to kind of show, oh, you don't know what you're talking about or you're not doing something right. But it could also be simply someone who has high analytical and it's just innate. It's just in their nature to feel like, hey, I just kind of want to know what's under the hood. Like, how is this all working? And so, when you have someone like that, it's best to have a conversation. Ask them, hey, were you really just like trying to one up me in the meeting, or were you really interested, or what was going on there? Because people with high analytical skills, it's just kind of natural. That's what they do. They just kind of want to always know how it's going. I think Caleb may have high analytical, right? He loves to pull things apart. Doesn't always necessarily get them back together, but he loves to tear things apart. And I'm very much that way too. I like to kind of know how things work. In fact, because of my high analytical, they had said when I went through the Gallup strengths assessment that they had a report on how on sort of all the testing and everything else they did, and they said, but Jeff, I bet you've already downloaded it, and or already read it actually. And I said, well, I downloaded it, but I haven't read it yet. So definitely it's high for me, but just because it's not high for you doesn't mean that you're not, a critical thinker or anything else. It's just that a lot of times you see people with spreadsheets, and Uncle Chris is one who loves spreadsheets, very high analytical, just likes to kind of pull things apart, know how things work. So intrinsic needs, and these are probably not needs that you have, but people that have high analytical skills, they need time to gather and process all the pertinent facts. They need an avenue to share that information, and they need to be understood when questioning others' assumptions, that they're not just doing it to be a pain. They're actually doing it because it's just innately who they are. So, if you have someone like this, and maybe they're kind of annoying you and kind of getting on your nerves because you're like, why is this person always asking me questions? You might have a conversation, and that conversation might just be, hey, listen, I see that you ask a lot of questions. I'm just curious, what's behind that. And if it, turns out that they're just naturally inquisitive, or they're just, high analytical, maybe like, hey, these are all great questions. Maybe don't bring these up in the middle of the briefing. Maybe we can talk about them ahead of time, or because then you'll prepare me better for the questions I might have if you ask me these questions ahead of time. But I would ask it during the briefing. Don't ask these questions, because sometimes it can be hard to kind of keep your train of thought going. Anyway, in terms of leaning into this, when you have something, sometimes, be curious, pull it apart, look at how do things work, why is something behaving the way it is. It may just sort of help you to understand things more. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and we'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.